Today marks 9 years since the shooting at Mother Emanuel AME Church in downtown Charleston. It was on this day in 2015, 9 parishioners were shot and killed during an evening Bible study. We're taking a live look at the church this morning. Now, there's still no permanent memorial honoring them on the site of the shooting where the church sits. It is under construction, though. Our web right has the latest on those memorial plans.
The memorial, of course, will be the place where people come and reflect upon the whole aspect of the tragedy.
It's meant as an intimate place. Feel like you're being embraced by the benches. This bench is 80 foot long, 9.5 feet tall, made out of pure marble.
9 years later, construction continues.
The memorial will surround the church. So on the far west side over here will be the memorial courtyard, which is made up of the fellowship benches, the names fountain with the name of the Emanuel 9, as well as the contemplation basin. On the east side of the church here will be the survivors garden and a visitors garden as well.
The goal is to have Phase 1, the memorial courtyard, done by the 10th anniversary in 2025. Community leaders say the memorial is needed to teach now more than ever.
History, of course, at various times is not very pretty, but it is something that we must remember. It is something that we must share, and it is something that molds our current frame of thought, our current ideologies, our current philosophy. So we have to begin to have those real hard conversations and do the work that is necessary to build stronger communities.
There are more shootings every day, it seems, and that is something that strikes us as extremely unfortunate and sad.
It is our sincere prayer that we will be able to develop the outreach programming, and it will continue to help people build stronger communities and, of course, be able to understand that we are stronger together.
Comfort not just to the Low Country, but to an entire nation by teaching the story to everyone.
And this morning, we're sharing the stories of the 9 lost 9 years ago today.
And Reverend Clementa C. Pinckney was 41 years old and the pastor of Emanuel AME Church. He served God and the people of the Low Country for more than 20 years. At the time of his death, Reverend Pinckney was a state senator for District 45, where he had been in office since 2000. At that time, he was the youngest African American ever elected to the South Carolina Senate. Tywanza Sanders was the youngest person killed. He was 26 years old. His mother, who survived the night, said Tywanza died trying to protect his great aunt, Susie Jackson. He graduated from Allen University and returned to Charleston, where he worked as a barber while still pursuing his passion for music. Friends and family created a scholarship fund in his honor. It's raised tens of thousands of dollars since it started. Susie Jackson was a longtime member of the church. At the age of 87, she was the eldest victim of the Emanuel 9 and is described as her family's matriarch. Jackson served as a trustee and usher. She was a member of Emanuel AME for many years and sang in the adult choir. She was a fixture at Sunday services and Wednesday night Bible studies. Her family told us they'll never forget her delicious Low Country breakfast she'd fix. A Freedom Memorial Garden keeps her memory alive on Alexander Street, which is the path she would take to get to the church.
Ethel Lance attended Mother Emanuel for most of her life. She spent nearly 7 days a week at the church. The 70-year-old retired after dedicating more than 30 years as a member of the housekeeping staff at the Gilliard Auditorium. Lance was a lover of gospel music. Her family remembers her as a caring and giving person who was always encouraging of their success. Reverend Sharonda Coleman Singleton was an assistant pastor at Mother Emanuel. She died at the age of 45. She was also a beloved track and field coach at Goose Creek High School. Reverend Singleton was a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and a dedicated mom of 3. Her legacy of motivating young people continues on through her son, Chris, who we just heard from this past half hour, a former pro baseball player who's now an author and a motivational speaker.
Cynthia Graham Hurd was a self-proclaimed book lover and community activist. She was a 31-year employee with Charleston County Public Library, and she was killed just 4 days before her 55th birthday. She's a graduate of the University of South Carolina and a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. In 2016, the St. Andrews Public Library was renamed in her honor. She was the manager of the branch at the time of her death. Reverend DePayne Middleton Doctor was a 49-year-old native of Hollywood. Before ministering at Mother Emanuel, she served as a minister at a number of other local churches, including Mount Moriah Missionary Baptist Church. She retired in 2005 as the Charleston County Director of the Community Development Block Grant Program, and she was a loving mother of 4 girls.
An educator at the time of her death, Myra Thompson was leading Bible study that night for the first time. She was 59 years old, left behind a family including 2 grandchildren. Her family told us Emanuel AME was her home away from home and that she loved being involved with ministry and people and children of the church. Myra came from a big family, having 12 siblings herself. Reverend Daniel Simmons Sr. was 74 years old, a 4th-generation preacher and retired pastor at several area churches. He served at the Army, and he was also a veteran, a Vietnam veteran, and recipient of the Purple Heart.
Thank you for joining us today.